have something to carry before tomorrow's match?
I would like to think that the defeat in the Asia Cup will add some motivation. Yeah, I'd rather hope that the defeat in the Asia Cup would give more motivation to the boys to come out and obviously fight tomorrow, show plenty of spirit, and get stuck into the Indian side. They're a very good side, we know that. We've seen them play some superb cricket this tournament so far. But I think it's a good opportunity for our boys to show what they're made of as well. So hopefully the defeat in the Asia Cup will give motivation to the boys.
Playing the host country in conditions here, especially you've been the finalist in 2011 and looking at back, how are you motivating the players, or what is the factor in that?
Well, I think playing in the World Cup, obviously against India here as well, is motivation in itself. I mean, playing for your country is motivation in itself. So I think the players, they're up for the fight, they're enjoying the tournament. We've played some good cricket at times, so we'll be looking to do that tomorrow. We've prepped as well as we always do. So the boys are ready. It's just a case of tomorrow we have to turn up and we have to bring our A game, because we know India is a very difficult team to beat.
Chris, following the Afghanistan game, I mean, how is the team sort of taken that defeat up, and how are they prepared for tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the team, all of us were very disappointed the other night after that result. That's not to take anything away from Afghanistan. I thought they played superb cricket on the night and showed that they are a progressing team and very, very capable of beating people. But for us, again, we had a very good chat in the dressing room afterwards, addressed some of the issues that we felt we had. And then we've come here and we're trying to put that right in practice now. So we'll be ready for tomorrow.
Chris, during the Afghanistan game also, the middle order didn't click. Is the form of someone like Dhananjay De Silva, Charita Salanka a concern for the team?
Well, listen, we know they have bags of experience in their locker, and we've seen both of them score runs at various points. So, yeah, I mean, it's like any game of cricket. Not everybody will perform all the time, but what we do need is people to put their hands up, and at times it'll be their time to do that as well. But thankfully, we do have a few people that are in form. I mean, Kussel has played some super knocks here. Sadira has been Mr. Consistent, as has Patam at the top of the order as well. Hi.
You played decent cricket throughout the tournament, but you've not had results going your way. So, what area that you think is the major main point of concern? Is it your death batting or middle overs bowling? Which area do you think is where you're losing out on?
Well, I think you've mentioned two areas there that we have spoken about, and we've spoken about in the press conferences before. Obviously, power down the bottom, so when we do get a good start, it's making sure that we finish the innings off strong and obviously push on to big scores. And then taking wickets in the middle phase is something that we're constantly working on. It's not easy on good wickets, but we have to find a way, and we have to find a way of taking those wickets. Otherwise, you're allowing other people to get big scores and making our lives difficult. It's a stronger, yeah, it is. It's, if you look at that bowling attack and you watch them operate, it's a very strong bowling attack. I think any team in the world would want an attack like that, to be honest. But we see that as a great challenge for our guys. We see it as an opportunity to go out and play against the best and see, pit ourselves against that. But there's no hiding it. It's a very good bowling attack.
Coach,
yes, sorry.
can you pass the mic? Where's the mic? I don't have it. No, you can see it.
Coach, Sri Lanka have a bit of a history with this ground. They played in the World Cup final in 2011. Have you told the boys, are the boys excited to play at a venue where they played a World Cup final?
Yeah, the boys are very aware of the history, to be honest. Obviously, players do talk about past history of their team as well and the results that they've had. But let's be honest, it's a great stadium, is this? We walked in today and the first thing you do is go, wow, this is a great place to play cricket. And when you stood out in the middle, you get that sort of goosebumps. So for me, there's plenty of things out there to motivate them to go perform in front of what will be a packed house tomorrow as well. Listen, Weller's a very good young player, we know that, and I think he's got a very bright future in front of him. But what I'm not going to do is discuss team tactics at this moment in time. Obviously, we've got to finalise things before we obviously release that to anyone else.
Coach, just wanted to know that coming into this tournament, were you guys aware of the Champions Trophy qualification scenario and with Sri Lanka at number 7 in the points table as of now? So, what is your take from that point of view?
Well, I mean, we know we have to finish in the top 7 or 8, depending on obviously where Pakistan, the host nation, are. So that's something that we're very aware of and something that we're aiming to do. So it's not just the World Cup, is this? Obviously, we want to perform to our best of ability in this tournament, but we have to make sure we do, so we obviously qualify for the other tournament as well. So we are aware of it.
Okay.
Coach, any concerns about the weather and the environment in general? Because Mumbai has been a little bit polluted of late, and in a few days' time we'll be playing in New Delhi, which is again very, very, the AQI levels are pretty high right now. So are there any concerns regarding that?
No, listen, we can only play in the conditions that are there, haven't we? So we've got to prepare for them, make sure we're ready for any conditions that we may come up against.
Chris, a word on Dilshan Madhushanka is playing in his first big tournament, obviously. How well has he sort of performed so far in this competition? Yeah,
Dilly's been excellent. I think what we've seen is he bowls good balls that get good players out. So I've been really pleased with him. This has been coming for a while. We've seen him in various other competitions that he's played in, and he's a very good young bowler. Again, it's something that we in Sri Lanka can be very proud of, that we have some very good young players coming through.
Hi, Coach. You mentioned Sadira is Mr. Consistent. Can you just, expand what's worked for him that hasn't worked necessarily for some of the other Sri Lankan batters?
I think, there's an article, written a few days ago about him. And I think what he has done is he's realised what his game is. He's learnt about himself and what works for him, more importantly. And then now he's just trying to do that consistently time and time and time again. And I think that's what all the greats do. If you look at Virat and people like that, they're just consistent with what they do all the time. And I think he's trying to do that now. And I think he's reaping some rewards from that.
So we'll take 2 more questions.
Coach, Kusal started the tournament as one of the best aggressive batters. He scored like 10 sixes. But since then, since taking the captaincy, he's been more cautious. And if you see the Afghanistan game, he was like very slow. So is there anything approachable to anything you discussed? Because we saw him hitting tons of sixes in the practice today.
Yeah, I want them to be aggressive, to be honest. I want them to play their game and obviously do things their way, but have a positive mindset. If there's a positive option, then you take it. And I'm encouraging them to come out of a shell and push back and put pressure back on the bowlers. So I think that's what he's trying to do.